in this video we are going to see how to perform click in Playwright and Python. Along with that one, we will be seeing what is the difference between a click in a Playwright as well as in a different automation tools, and how to achieve the same kind of a clicking operation just like in Selenium or in QTP. Okay, so that's what we are going to see. So for this example, I'm going to use google.com as the page, practice page, and we are going to click some item in the Google page. All right, so open Google page and open in DevTools, right click and inspect. Okay, so here we can click on any of the items. So for example, if you want to click Gmail, you can click it Gmail, but you can if you want to click Google search, or I'm feeling like you can click any item. Okay, so the first and foremost thing for clicking an element, okay, this is kind of a thing that you will face when you are doing it, but just for an information I'm giving it here now. Okay, the element size, whatever you are going to click, for example, if you are going to click this Google search button, this one, this particular button should be more than 0 pixel. Okay, so will it click if it is more than 0 pixel? Yes, there is a chance it may not also click. It may give you error, element not clickable or element not interactable. Okay, that kind of error will give. And second kind of error you will get is like you have this button, over this button there is an invisible layer or some element is covering this button. Okay, so in such cases you will see click intercepted exception, which means that the automation tool try to click this button but some other element received the click. So these are the two conditions for clicking. Like if these are satisfied, like if these two are not occurring, then the click will happen usually. Okay, the click will happen, for example, in the Google search button in the middle of it. Okay, so it will take that axis and it will click it in the middle. Okay, middle of the button, not in the left or right or in the starting point or ending point. It is exactly in the middle. It will try to click. All right, now let's click something. Okay, what we want to click, can we click on this about page? Okay, so let's inspect it, this about page. Okay, give me a second. Okay, here we have about, and now inspect it. It is based on a link, right? So anchor tag is present and the text is also present. We can form an XPath from it. So the XPath is, even before we can write an XPath, have a guess. So how it could be? So /tag, and here we are having a text, and see here nothing else makes sense. Okay, maybe the class name, but it looks like a duplicate. Okay, so here we can use a tag name and a text. So how we form an XPath with the tag name and text? /tag name and text function equal to the text, right? Let's say /a at is used for attributes, not for functions. So here we are using a text function, text equal to about. So it is better you copy that text from the element rather than writing it, because sometimes there will be a little space you miss or uppercase lowercase problems will come. So it is always better try to copy it from here only. Okay, from the element. Now if you see, there is 1-of-1 match. Okay, I'll copy this thing and go to the page. Okay, here what I'm going to do is page.locator and .click. The click is the function that you have to use to click an element. Okay, so I'm going to add 2 seconds of a sleep to see like whether it's clicked or not. I'm going to add 4 actually instead of 2. Okay, now let's run it, but before running it, let's click the about section here manually, so that whatever the page that the script opens and whatever the page we are currently opening, both are matches. Okay, so this is the about page, right? All right, now go to the script and run it. So here it is in already some other file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the custom one, so this one. Okay, right click and run. Okay, now it's changed. See, it clicked into the about section. After 4 seconds it just expires. Okay, now the script executed successfully. So this is how you click in Playwright. Very simple, dot click. Selenium also, it's just a dot click. Now let's come to the difference. Okay, what is the difference in Selenium click and Playwright click? Okay, so if you are just looking for click function, and the video is over, but if you are going to look for an explanation what's the difference between this one, Selenium and Playwright, now you can see it. You can continue the video. So with Selenium, what happens is that when you find an element, okay, let's say you have more than one element matching with the locator. So now if you issue a dot click, okay, using driver dot find element and the locator dot click, what happens is that the Selenium decides it wants to click the first element. Okay, even if there is one element, then it will click it, but if there is more than one element, it will try to click the very first element. Okay, and it will go successfully. But with respect to Playwright, you have to mention exactly which item you want to click. Okay, if there is only one item, then you can click it. One button, you can click it. Okay, but if there is more than one element, what happens is that it will throw an exception. For example, let's take the same page. Instead of about, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the about. Okay, I'm going to see /a. Okay, let's go back here and search for /a. If you see, there are so many matches in this page, but let's focus on Google page rather than here. Okay, come on. Okay, so in this one, let's see, /a matches 28 items. Okay, so how do we handle it? 28 items. Okay, so 28 items is, sorry, now it's 66 items. Okay, so now let's run the script here first to understand what problem we are going to face. In Selenium, if you run it, that locator /a, it would click the very first anchor element. That's a link. Okay, now with respect to Playwright, let's see what happens. Now we got the error and it says something here. Playwright API types error strict mode violation. Okay, and locator resolved to 24 elements. So basically the Playwright is finding 24 elements in there. Okay, which is not good. So it caused an exception. So if you want to click an element, there should be only one element. Okay, then only Playwright will proceed. If there is more than one element, then it will throw in this particular exception, strict mode violation. Okay, how do we handle it? Let's say go back to the page and refresh and /a. Check what is the first element. I don't know, this is inside the script. It's not a big thing. Let's see here, this is the first element. Okay, now let's do the same thing here. Okay, come on, yep. Okay, so now if you want to click a particular element in among those matches, either you have to form the right XPath, okay, or you have to use a different method. Okay, so the different way, so writing in right XPath, yeah, most of the time works. Okay, but there is edge cases where you cannot write an XPath exactly to match one item. In such cases, use this thing. Okay, one way, use group XPath. Okay, like this. Okay, it will bring the first one or the second one. If you give the second one, it will go to the second one, third one, so on. It will keep on going. But think of it in this way. Okay, let's say we are going to click the first item. Okay, now run it. It should not give us any problem. Okay, see, it did not give. It tried to click sign in and it didn't give any problem. Okay, incognito. Instead of this page, I am going to open in incognito. Come on, man. I guess everything is bought by Google. /a. So this is the first item that is coming in. But if you see, this is third match. If you see here, there is something have matching with the accounts. It is inside the script, so this is not actually an element. Okay, the first element is starts like this with a tag name. Okay, so it tried to click this thing and it was giving that pop-up. Okay, I'll run it. So instead of first one, I'm going to click the second one. Let's see what happens. Okay, it again try to click something. Okay, similarly you can keep on clicking it. Okay, so it will not cause the problem, it will actually click it. Oh, sorry, my bad. Actually I should have clicked it. I kept without operation. My bad. Okay, now it clicked and it is going to the Gmail page. Okay, so it is opened in incognito, so it's not going to log in into my Gmail actually. Okay, so similarly you can change it to 2, 3, 4 like that. Okay, so this is good. This is one way. The second way is using dot. When you know there is going to be n elements, more than one element, then what you have to do is you can take nth element. Okay, and here it's going to be 0. This 0 and click. This exactly translates to something like this. Previously we were writing a group XPath, right? To this. Okay, here it starts with 0. Okay, but with XPath it starts with 1. Okay, so both are meaning the same element. Okay, previously we clicked it, now I'm going to comment it and I'm going to click the 0 item in the 0th position. Okay, it's because of the array or list, whatever you call it. Okay, see, it has come to the same page. Okay, this is good. Okay, now think of it this way. Okay, but before thinking of it, let's summarize what we have seen. If there is one element, we were able to click it without any problem. If there is more than one element, we have to single it out using a XPath or locator and then click it. Okay, if there is more than one element, okay, you have to single it using nth. Okay, and click it. So this is what we are handling it. But think of this situation. Okay, now you can actually think of this situation where when you are writing the script, okay, it's one element. After few days it becomes 2 elements. What happens now? So when you found one element, you did not write any of this thing, right? Because you are finding only one element. But after few days it changes into multiple elements, then the script automatically fails. How do you handle it? Alright, let's write it a different function for it. Okay, I'm going to write a function, but I'm going to write it a little bit above. Okay, it's a bit say above. Def click element. Okay, if you ask me how I will write is, I will write just click rather than using click element. I'll just use a plain click so that people can understand exactly what it means. Writing underscore element also, it's a good way of writing, but just keep it in sync with this click. Okay, fine. So what I have to do is I have to click something. So here you have to decide whether you are going to accept an locator or whether you are going to accept an page.locator. Basically this is a kind of an item. Okay, whether you are going to accept an element or whether you are going to accept a string locator /a. So you have to decide it. According to that one you can proceed. Okay, we can handle that one as well. I will see at the end of it. Okay, let's think. As of now we are going to get this particular value. Okay, so for that what I have to do is I have to create a parameter here. Okay, element, but let's think it here. Okay, element. Now we can pass it. Okay, now I'm going to do it. Element dot nth of 0 dot click. See, in both the places I did not receive any suggestion here. Do you know why? Yes, reason is we have not informed this particular function what this element is. I could pass a string, I could pass anything else, a boolean value, int value. So it does not know, so it does not suggest us anything. Okay, so what this element, already we have decided it's going to be this locator. Okay, I mean this means similar to this. Okay, so write it as a locator. So once you type few letters, you may not get the suggestions. Press control space and control space. Okay, now we are seeing a locator. So here there are multiple locator, multiple kinds. Here we are interested in playwright.sync API. Okay, I can give a little space. Fine. Now comment it. Try to write the same thing. Element dot, see, now you are seeing the suggestions. It is because the function knows what is the kind of parameter it's going to accept. Okay, now click it. Fine. So now what we have to do is, okay, click, you pass this element and you comment it. It's not required anymore, so it will click it. So we have created the same function, but how do we know now that whether it has more than one element, or one element or more than one element? Because we are expecting, previously we didn't know it, but we have to expect it. Think it that this particular element, whatever we are finding, it could be element or elements. Okay, one match or multiple matches. Okay, so we have to write the logic accordingly. Okay, right. So first, how can we get whether it's a single element or multiple elements? So for that we can use element dot count. Basically this will give us number of elements present. Okay, if it is more than one, okay, I have to do something, else I have to do something. But here notice, okay, if it is more than one, yeah, fine, but if it becomes a else condition, think of it, the count itself is 0, then also this will execute. Okay, so we have to be careful in such cases. Okay, now I am going to write element if equal to 1. Okay, sorry, it's not else if, it's elif. I don't know, man, I'm thinking something else, I guess. Okay, so here we are checking what happens if there is more than one element and what happens if it is one element. You understand, right, why we are not using else? Because if we use else, even a 0, 1 or a 0, that will come into the else block. And when there is no element and if you try to click it, what happens? No such element exception happens. Alright, fine. So what we have to do in case if there is more than one element? So as I was telling previously, in Selenium it will try to click the first element, very first element. Not only Selenium, any other automation tool other than Playwright and the Puppeteer. Okay, so it will try to click the first element. So exactly we are also going to do the same. We are going to click the very first element if it has more than one element. Okay, now if it has only one element, more than one element, use the 0th element. But if it is only one element, then we will directly click it rather than using nth. Okay, if more than one element, we will take this first element and click it. If there is only one element, we will take the element and we'll click it. Okay, now let's run this thing. Okay, let's run text equal to about. Why I am using this about is this will match only one element in the page. Okay. So here if you see, this one will match only one element, that's why I'm using about. Okay, so we are going to click it. It is, yeah. Okay, now let's run it. It clicks the about section and it goes. What's fine, fantastic. Okay, for one element it worked. Now think, tomorrow something happened and now suddenly you have more than one element. Double slash is. Okay, so double slash a, you see so many items are matching, right? So think it in that way. Now I am passing it. Now let's run it. See, it is clicking the very first element. All right, so this way if you write a function something like this, not only today, in future also this function works irrespective of today is one element and tomorrow if it becomes multiple element, irrespective of that it will work. Okay, so this is basically a custom click. Okay, or you can mark it as custom underscore click so that it will be easier for your understanding, or click. It's up to you how you write it. Okay, I prefer writing just plain click. For tutorial purpose I'm writing custom click. Now what else I can do here? I can write log statements here. I can write print clicking this. Okay, I have to put F in the front. You can write just element. So now this time I'll get to know what element I'm clicking. In the output if you see clicking this particular element. See, this is nice, isn't it? So this way you can also maintain better logging. Okay, you can again format, like you can get a particular XPath and then you can just print that thing. Okay, something like that. You can keep on doing it and you can keep on working on the custom clicks. Similar to this one, we will be seeing multiple custom methods in upcoming lectures, so do follow this page. Okay, don't forget it. So most of the videos are present in testercoder.com for free only. You can use it there. I rarely upload on the YouTube, but we have everything as a free courses in testercoder.com. Okay, so along with this thing you can find the code also there. Okay, thank you. That's all with this video. Bye.